Hey guys, welcome to the show. Today we are going to be checking out the M4 MAX MacBook Pro. Over here I've got the M1 MAX, 64 gigabytes of RAM. The M4 MacBook Pro with 64 gigabytes of RAM. We're going to have a bit of a gigabit off. We're going to be doing Llama, we're going to be doing Unreal, we're going to be doing Xcode, Android, crypto. We're going to do some mining. We're going to do all of the course, even unzipping an Excel spreadsheet. How good is it that? We're going to find out how good this bad boy is for development and all the kind of good fun stuff you want to do on these machines. So first up, I've got, this is a Llama, the 70 billion parameter model, just enough to fit into the 64 gigabits of memory. And we're going to be just talking to it. So let's type in hello and let's just see how much faster this bad boy is for figuring stuff out. Boom, running at the same time. And let's see on the left, thinking. Boom, it is started talking back to me. M1 Max hasn't even thought about talking back to me. It's pretty much finished, and the M1 Max is far behind. So that is a considerable difference. I've already done some tests over here. I already found that it's up to 3 times faster. Most of the time, you're not going to notice. No difference whatsoever. Most of the things you're going to do, except for some cases, it's going to be 3 times faster. So it's not 20% faster, 40% faster. It's like 3 times faster, 300% faster on some of the cases, but I'm going to show you that very soon. So let's just ask you another fundamental question about the world, see if we can confuse it. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Boom, straight away we've got an answer. We've got an answer here. It's spitting out text a lot faster on the M4 Max. No fans, but actually something noticeable is Coil Whine. There's a bit of a zinging sound coming out of this. So side by side there is a bit of a Coil Whine coming out of the M4 Max. It's very, very hard to hear it. It's just a lot more high pitched than the one coming out of the M1 Max. The M1 Max is like, and the M4 Max is kind of like, but obviously that's extrapolated. You gotta be your ear up to here to notice it when it's doing this kind of process. But let's go ahead and switch up the show. Let's exit out of this guy and let's do some image processing. So we're gonna be using Llama 3.2 Vision. We're gonna try figuring out who this guy is. Let's see if you can know who this guy is and what the earth is. So let's run that show. 3, 2, 1, who does it faster? It's taken quite a bit, but boom, we've got a response on the M4 Max. M1 Max is still figuring it out. These tests are variable. There's a bit of rand when it comes to giving out answers, but it's spit out a response. It says a small American flag pin adorns in the background. Our focus American flag hangs on the wall. Very descriptive in describing the image we're about to see. And it's got the second one, it is done. M1 Max a bit behind there, I'm guessing. Is that more than twice as fast than the M1 Max on this image recognition situation? M1 Max is still processing. For the first, figuring out who the president is, it came up with 2-0 and this one is 4-0. So yeah, double the speed improvement with the M4 Max, which is good. M1 Max, I'm talking away and it still hasn't figured out what the earth is. This is the kind of planet it's trying to figure out what it is. The second image, and it's figured it out, finally done it. And it found out that the planet it's got atmospheric layers. It's the earth from space. So good job. So you are getting considerably faster distances between the two on doing these Llama calculations. Who needs to run AI on the cloud? You can run it on the M10. Just AI in your brains. Now regarding running larger models, for example, Llama, they got a 200 megabyte memory requiring model. You got to use a tool like Xcode. Let's just get that guy running. Run. And we can see that this M1 MacBook Pro, it goes 21 teraflops. Flop, not belly flop, a teraflop. And this guy over here, the M4, does 36, so it is more than 50% faster. 20, 15, yeah, 75% faster than the M1 Max. What's cool is we got another MacBook Pro coming soon, and we're gonna use this application to link them all together and see if we can run Llama 405. Get the Llama running. But for now, you can see that it is estimating that you got 75% faster EI brains. And what I want to do is a raw compute test, and this is unzipping. So we're going to be unzipping Xcode because we're going to do some iOS next up. But let's open up these zip files and see which one compiles it the faster. And we're seeing that the M4 Max is slightly faster than the M1 Max. and the M4 Max is gonna win the show, but is just lagging behind. It's not like with the AI kind of tasks where that one was twice as fast with the GPU kind of churning the show. It is maybe 10, 20 seconds faster than the M1 Max, and that's unzipping a 4 GB compressed file. Boom. Okay, since we got Xcode, let's go fire that guy up. I'm gonna do a fresh build and run from scratch. I don't have any issues with Xcode. Xcode is just a nice application to run on these systems. But maybe if you're doing a monolith application, probably like if you're trying to compile Chrome, oh my days, you're gonna need lots of times on your hand for that one. But anyway, for this basic iOS application, 3, 2, 1, let's hit it. It's already succeeded. It's already built it on the M4 Max. It's already built it, so we're just firing up the simulator. Simulator's up. It's built it now on the M1 Max. Simulator is up on there. And ooh, which one's gonna get it first? Which one's gonna get it first? The M4 Max should be ready, but it's not. Come on. Oh, we're done. Lap. So we've got 29 seconds on the M4 Max, and M1 Max is 15 seconds behind, 45-second task in total. So that's 50% faster to build from scratch and launch. Don't really know what's in this project because it's only 15 seconds, and rebuild, recompile times, like if I was to run it again from scratch, they're both going to be instantaneous. 1, 2, 3, let's go. It's just within seconds of each other. So getting faster, 50% faster in Xcode, 2 times faster in Vision, and 2 times louder in Whine. You got that one as well. Let's be fair and let's switch over to the world of Android. So we're gonna go Android because we've got to keep equal election times on both of these guys. So Android Studio. One good thing about this upgrade that I'm doing between the M1 to M4 is I'm not having any issues. The software is still the software. Even this latest version of macOS, Coil, seems to be running fine as it is. I remember when I switched from Intel to the M1, I had a bit of teething issues and then they went away after a few months. But now with this M1 to M4, it seems to be okay. Obviously, there's a few more applications that run in the background. I saw private compute trying to access the internet, and I was deny, and inside privacy, there's a new private compute kind of, there's some extra flags that you need to disable, but you know, it is what it is. Let's jump on to Android. So we got Gradle running over here. It's compiling the task, boom. It's compiling C++ code, getting compiled away in Android Studio. Some of the NDK is happening over here, just basic crypto mining situations, not that hard. Oh, it's done. Sorry, it took 24 seconds on the M4 Max. I remember when the M1 Maxes came out, Twitter, they bought everyone M1 Maxes because they said it just octimpled their programming skills. Anyway, so it's 24 seconds on the M4 Max and 45 seconds on the M1 Max. So is double the speed in compilation. You see, 20% faster on the M2, 20% faster on the M3, another 20% faster. Boom, that comes up with a 100% faster. That is, obviously, it's just an extra 20 seconds, and that's a rebuild from scratch. So it's not going to change anything, and using the application is still going to be the same. Let's launch this emulator over here and launch the emulator over there. Connecting to emulator, connect to the emulator. Boom, 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 boom. Launch fast on the M4 Max, but it's just a second or so behind on the M1 Max. So actually using the application wasn't much of a difference. Compilation twice as fast, but you can imagine if you have a really heavy project, you'd probably just be getting a PC. But if you had a project that needed a Mac, there you go. Basically, if you work for someone and you want a business expense, you're gonna be asked for a Mac. When I was working for people, everyone wanted a Mac because they were the best laptops there is to get. And the PC world, Macs, they're portable, you can take them home and play with them as well. So you probably just want MacBook Pros so you can get work-life balance on the screen all day long. All right, so let's switch over. I said I was gonna do crypto. So I think let's do some crypto. Yeah, let's just see performance benchmarking. Has the crypto mania, has it gotten much faster than the M1? Now I'm gonna do a torture test on this. I'm gonna go maximum crypto mining on these guys, which I don't recommend you guys doing because Macs, you're meant to love them and caress them and just make babies of them. This is another application I wrote called Mac Miner. It's just using a few libraries here and there, but it's pretty much gonna do some Ethereum mining. So let's just jump in. I know you're not meant to be able to mine Ethereum anymore, but there's other coins which still allow it, still allow you that proof of work. So it says it belongs in the trash, this application. So what you need to do, you need to go into system settings and then privacy and security, and then scroll to the bottom and it comes up saying Mac miner was blocked. So click open anyway, and that will open it up. So by default, the power mode is set to low on both. So I'm gonna make it maximum. So we are mining away already on M4 Max. It's done its pre-processing and it's mining at 31.5 mega hashes. That is about a third the performance of a 3080. So NVIDIA, you know, those expensive $2,000, $1,000 cards, it's a third of the performance on that. That's the M4 Max. The M1 Max is still doing the pre-processing, so I'll let that finish. But from memory, I believe that one was around 10. So we've got 1018 and we've got 31. So that means over 3 times faster crypto mining performance. And I'm not hearing any slackness. That's amazing. It can probably be updated to support all the latest features in these chips. So I'm guessing we can go a lot faster. Let's just see. The GPU is saturated, but there's probably some cleverer trickery we can do to get some random numbers randomly being accepted. And that's how money is made, kids, in the future. Numbers just made up. All right, so we've seen mining over here. And let's just close that over there. And probably what I want to jump into next is doing some 3D graphics. So we're going to jump into Unreal Engine. So let's just launch that. And I'm going to launch a sample project, and it's a hilarious sample project, but it will give you another good indication about the 3D performance as well as the CPU performance, because we've been doing both compiling the shaders to run on the GPU and running the shaders on the GPU, so we get the frame rate and the compilation speed performance. So let's go into library on both. One quick test actually, and let's just see if Epic Games Launcher runs any faster on M4 Max. I don't know what the programming is going on with Epic, but it just runs so sluggish. Even on my Windows computer, the Epic Games Launcher runs so sluggish. Don't know, it's just maybe they put the worst programmers on the user interface side of things. But yeah, I remember back in the day when I used to work in the games industry, yeah, pretty much if you weren't a good programmer, you got put onto UI and tools. So let's scroll, you know, maybe it's a bit faster. Yeah, you can see it's a little bit more chuggy on the left here, just a little bit. On the right, yes, maybe it's a bit smoother, but let's switch over to library. So definitely with CPU performance improving, Epic Games Launcher has gotten better. And one thing that's good about Epic is they give you free games. Like every couple of weeks, you get a free game that's like worth money. That's amazing. Thank you, Epic. So let's go into Unreal Engine and let's fire up. We're going to do MetaHumans because that is just a hilarious one to launch up. So this is going to take quite a while because I've cleared out the cache. So 3, 2, 1. There you go. Boom. Done both at the same time. Let's start the show up. It should take quite a while. You can see the Unreal Engine monitors launch, bouncing up and down. Compiling shaders. You've got 5,799 shaders to go. It's going to take quite a bit. I remember on my Intel computers, yeah, those guys used to get so overwhelmed with compiling shaders of Unreal Engine that they actually took my Mac away from me. The store manager was such a safe guy. I showed them the problem, and he would thermal throttle like mental. So the store manager just took it away from me and just said, look, this is not working for you. And they gave me an M1 Max as a replacement, and that one seems to work fine. So thank you for that. I had an i9, and it was just the thermal throttling. The fan would go crazy. It just wasn't working out. But these M1s, they seem to be working really well with Epic Games Launcher and Unreal Engine. They've made it work on ARM, so thank you for that. And just during that show, we got 4,000 left on the M4 Max, and we got 4,600 on the M1 Max. So it's already gaining speed. And the good thing about the M4 Max, I'm comparing it to the M1 Max. Maybe if you got an M3, it's not worth it. But compared to the M1 Max, it's now time that you're gonna notice a difference. Because if you upgrade every year, that 20%, you're not really gonna notice. But when you give it a few years, like 3 years like I have, you might notice a difference. So boom, we are 4 minutes into this test. The M4 Max finally has the editor on the screen. It's still doing a bit of compilation, preparing shaders out. I think it is done. So for 15 seconds on the M4 Max. The M1 Max is still at 45%. Now, subsequent loads are going to be a lot faster. It's only intensely slow the first time run, the first time you launch the editor, but subsequent ones are going to be faster. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to close the M4 Max since we can, and I'm going to relaunch it and just show you how much faster it is to launch it the second time round. And again, the M1 Max is still at 45% with 489 shaders to go. So having those extra cores on the M4 system, very, very useful to me. Thank you very much. Look, it's launched it twice. Let's see if we can, it's going around the loop. Let's see how many times the M4 Max is gonna loop this bad boy. Let's close it again. Let's launch it again. I feel like, yeah, you got yourself a nice sports car and got like a Beetle. It's not a slow computer. M1 Max is a good computer. It's great. I don't even need this upgrade. You do need it for these kind of use cases. It's 3 times. Launch 3 times. Let's see if I can launch it a 4th time. Oh, let's go. How many times can we launch Unreal Editor on the M4 Max versus once on the M1 Max? Find out right in the comment section below. See if you get it right. You might win something. My pride. We're not that big of a channel. We can't afford giveaways. All right, let's launched it again. Can I do it 5 times? This is going to be a fun challenge. Didn't actually expect this. All right, we're going for the 5th time. Now, subsequent loads are faster. I've already said that. Subsequent loads are faster, so it's not that big of a deal what I'm doing right now. Because the 2nd time round, 3rd time round, you're not recompiling the shaders. And 5 times, it's still 94% on the M1 Max. All right, we are launched on the M1 Max. It took 6.5 minutes, so that means the M4 Max is 50% faster. However, that was the CPU processing, building the stuff. But what about actually using this editor? So let's switch over to FPS mode. And FPS, you got 30 frames a second on the M1 Max, and you've got 50 frames a second on the M4 Max. But let's actually just launch this project. It's a hilarious demo. I love it. Oh. Okay, they're both running.
I am a metahuman. The next generation of digital human.
Obviously, they need to fix the hair. Well, I need to fix the hair. Somebody needs to fix the hair. Frame rate wise, they are both 30 frames a second. So they're both running the same, surprisingly. I didn't expect that. I thought the M4 Max would be faster, but it seems to be about the same in this demonstration. Maybe the M1 is on 20 frames a second here, and the M4 Max is 30 frames a second there. So that is an extra 10 frames, around 50% faster on the GPU rendering side of things. I'm also going to launch the Lyra starter game. We're not going to be doing a test on compilation. We're just going to get up and running. I want to show you the difference in frame rate, because this one's a game you can play. You can go around shooting people. So let's just see if there is much of a difference in the frame rate once it launches. One thing I'm noticing, just at this stage, is still launching this Lyra game, but the M4 Max's fans are starting to rev up, whereas the M1 Max is still silent. So it's slower, but maybe more stable long term. I don't think it'll get as bad as the Intel ones ever got, but it's something to just get your Apple Care just to make sure parts aren't cheap, you know what I'm saying? So we are in, we've got the frame rate counter up and running. We've got 53 frames a second on the M4 Max and 33 frames a second on the M1 Max. The fans are still going on the M4, although I'm hearing them starting to wind down. No fans whatsoever on the M1. I think when you put external displays, the situation is going to change. We'll have that very soon. But let's just hit play and just show you the game in action. So let's just run around. And we're going 50 frames a second and 40 frames a second, 50 frames a second. A little bit of lags here and there, but definitely over 40 and just under 50 to 50 on the low 50s. The high 40s to the early 50s running around. On the M1 Max, yes, definitely noticeably chuggier, but it's still just under 30 frames a second. We've got 27 frames a second, 27 seconds, 27 seconds, 28 frames a second. It's definitely 27. So mid 20s on the M1 Max and high 40s to low 50s on the M4 Max. So that is a nice improvement. One thing, of course, well, you guys know in the world, we are running, I think, epic quality settings. Let's just see. Scalability, yeah, we're on epic. We'll go cinematic, don't make it slow. Or you can make it run faster if you go low quality settings, all that kind of stuff. Let's close that for now. And I think what I want to share with you, one issue I had with the M1 Max that made me want to upgrade, and that's in the world of video editing and plugins. You see, plugins are made by cool people, but they're not always made by the most optimized people. They usually make things that are useful, very useful, very useful, except they're not highly optimized. They're just to run. So I'll show you some plugins that I've struggled with in the world of Final Cut Pro. So launching, they pretty much launch, maybe the M1 Max launched faster, but I did type it in faster. So maybe that's why it launched faster, but let's just go ahead there and let's launch the Tesla rim protector video. So if I play space here, it is running fine, running good. So that works fine when you're editing at 1x speed. However, if you start editing at 2x speed, because you just want to get the edit done, you know, you need to edit quickly. You don't need to watch the whole thing. You're just looking at patterns and stuff, which I think most people edit 4x speed if they can. You just, you know, you've seen the video a million times by the time you finish editing it. So let's just play that again. M1 Max also runs really well. No problems whatsoever. And I've got like a million plugins on this video just to show the case that I've got. So if you go here, we've got all of these plugins all enabled at the same time, just to show the issue that I've got. So on the M1 Max, if I try editing at 2x speed, listen to this. And how much did you pay is when she starts speaking.
How'd you get those rims?
Should be speaking at how did you get those rims, but when you do 2x,
Wait, and how much did you?
weigh and how much did you pay?
Wait, and how much did you?
Weigh and how much did you pay? So let's just see or hear if I can hear more of the audio. Because sometimes you just want to scrub through everything as fast as possible. But when you have these plugins enabled, it just chucks it down. So
Wait,
weigh is what we got in the M1 Max.
then wait.
That way, we got an extra word. There you go. The M4 Max, because of its improvement in the CPU speed, gave us an extra word in audio
Then wait.
performance. But of course, if you want to just, you know, make it usable, you just have to disable the effects while you edit. It's a lot better now. But yeah, we got a bit of a performance boost, one word, with the plugins on Final Cut, but you know, Final Cut works really well. Either way, I'll just export out this video just to show you. And we are blitzing through 30% already on the M4 Max, 14% on the M1 Max. I think it's more than double fast. 60% versus 20%. That's 3 times faster. When it gets to 80%, 80% versus 30, and 90 versus 36. So it's around 3 times. So it is done. It is done at 24 seconds. And the other one is still chugging away to 96%, 50 seconds. So it is definitely twice as fast on exporting. Of course, they do have more coders over here on the M4 Max. That's helping out the show. But generally, I think Final Cut and the M systems, they've been very proper quality on the M's. So I wouldn't upgrade for that, especially if you've got a nice beefy system. Like if you've got 64 gigs, maybe wait until the M5 or see what's actually going to go on. Because I'm sure Apple are going to start infiltrating their computers with all these AI processors. So you're going to probably need some dedicated hardware to handle that situation if you want to use it. I personally don't. I'm happy the way I am. I don't like people spying on me all the time. What is it? Like, no one likes being spied on, yet people seem to love the idea of having computers spy on you, as in intelligence. Hopefully it'll be useful, but yeah, let's just see what happens. I'll just buy a farm, till the land bit by bit. For this test over here, I've got this MacBook M4 Max hooked up to not one display, but 2 external displays. This one's even going at 120 Hertz. So happy with the buttery smoothness I'm about to experience. Upgrading from the M1, you can only do 60, but now I'm going to 120. And it's going to be kind of like a real life torture test. Not torture, but just a real life test. I want to know how noisy do the fans get? Because they were noticeably noisier than the M1 Max when doing Unreal and heavy compilation, heavy kind of like stuff. But day to day, when I'm doing torturous stuff that I do, lots of tabs, all that kind of stuff, is it going to be noticeably awful? Are we going to take a step back? Because I know the Intel Max, they used to work well when there was no external display, but as soon as you plugged in an external display, it just got noisy. So I'm going to have Unreal, I'm going to have a bit of Xcode, I'm going to have Final Cut, I'm going to have it all running at the same time, and I'm hoping that the fan speed it won't go insane. Let's see, let's find out. Let's launch Unreal right now. MetaHumans. Now, MetaHumans, it was insane when it was compiling all the shaders, but the subsequent runs, it shouldn't provoke the fans. So it's launching right now. That's good. Do a bit of Xcode. Same time, this is gonna be fun. I love these systems. They're so well done.
I am a metahuman.
I am a metahuman. Hit that running. Let's go into Xcode and let's fire up the simulator. And let's do a bit of no kit pro. Bit finili kitty pro. And let's just scrub through the timeline. Running really well, surprisingly. New Final Cut, you do not need the internet. Running the simulator, boom, we've got the application running. Unreal Editor, it's going 20 frames a second with this torturous situation. I'm not gonna do Cinebench and all that kind of stuff because I don't want to hear the fans. I just want to know will the fans come on when I'm just doing basic, not basic stuff, but generically basic stuff. So we can't. Yeah, I can't hear the fans running. And I've got Unreal Engine running away. I've got Xcode and the Xcode simulator running away. And I've even got a bit of Finale Cut running away. And I can't hear fans, so that is delightful. Anyway, let's jump into the final predict, the final test. And this is going to be the Excel test. Now, there is a file. It is called sample.xlsx. Some cool dude sent me this file, and apparently it chugs all the systems. It's the system destroyer. So we're gonna launch it. It's only 250 megs, but look how long it's gonna take to launch. 3, 2, 1, go. So it's firing up right now. Excel, it's fired up on the screen, but it still hasn't loaded. Have you ever launched an Excel spreadsheet and it just has a white screen on your face? Imagine waiting minutes. Before we had to wait minutes with the, I think with the Intel Mac systems. That'd be mission impossible. Tom Cruise gonna win that one. Well, on these systems, okay, we are up on the screen there, 22 seconds. It's 22 seconds on the M4 Max. It's still loading on the M1 Max, and it's almost done, It's up and running, so 35 seconds. So it's almost twice as fast on this Excel. What about usability? Smoother on the right. Yeah, it's slightly smoother on the right. It does chug a little bit, but it's definitely usable. Like, they've done a great job on this M1. The fact that it can launch it, that's great job. And we are up. So that was 20 versus 35, almost twice as fast. We'll wrap up the show with a bit of benchmarks. Actually, one benchmark that I do like is the Blackmagic raw speed, because that tests CPU and GPU, and it's a really quick test to fire up. We got boom, 90 frames a second on the M4 and 34 frames a second on the M1 Max. So it's almost 3 times faster when it's doing CPU computing those raw frames. And we're using 8K metal. We're going from 200 to almost 400, 371. So almost twice as fast on the GPU. Actually, some tests, let me just throw up Luxmark. I like using old benchmarks because then you're consistent with the world. So boom, right there, we got a score of 60,000 on the M4 Max and 36,000 on the M1 Max. One thing to note is the fans are going off on the M1 Max and there is no fans whatsoever on the M1 Max. So almost twice as fast on the Luxmark. Very good test over here, but you are starting to get fans. I would say on the world of fans, like I was conditioned on the Intel Max in my life, so this fan noise is nothing to me. And if you ever become a parent, you will understand that core whine and fan noise is nothing. Your eardrums are gonna burst for other reasons. So when you become a parent, maybe this noise is kind of soothing. This one's Cinebench R15, the one that doesn't just make your computer run for 10 minutes non-stop because of the thermal throttles. Look at that, it's almost already done. I'm gonna love this score because this M4 Max is done right now. It's 3,700. It is faster than an Intel Xeon from like 8 years ago. Intel Xeons are amazing back in the day, and this M4 is just 3 times of them. 3 times faster. M1 Max is chugging behind, and we got 1,600. So that's 1,600. 3,000, just over twice as fast in 3 years, twice as fast. Yeah, it's nice. Final test, let's just jump into this speed test to see if the SSDs have gotten any different. I've had no problems with the SSDs on the M1 Max. The SSD on the M1 Max is insanely fast as it is, so no issues there. If it's gotten faster, that is good. We got almost 7,000 writing and 4,000 writing on the M1 Max. It is almost 7,000 again, and so it's actually gone faster. I've had no issues, and it's gone faster. Reading is slower though. So reading, we got almost 6,000 reading on the M1 Max, and we got 5,500 on the M4 Max. But one thing to note is this one's actually a 4 terabyte SSD, and this is a 2 terabyte SSD. So maybe it depends on your configuration. Maybe I'm getting a 4 terabyte very soon, because that was going to be, this is for my wife, this Mac. However, I might actually return this and get another one, because I ordered the Mac without the nano texture, because I was a bit scared and confused. I've never tried nano. I wanted to see it in the store. I figured it might be a gimmick. Maybe the screens will break. Maybe it won't be as strong. Maybe the colors will be off. But I'm going to go in the Apple store and I'm going to see it what it's like in person. And if it does actually reduce the reflections and it isn't poor quality, it's good quality. The reviews will say it's good quality. So I might actually have to just switch over to that edition. And maybe, yeah, so I might have to do that. But speed-wise, it's still about the same. Usually I do more tests, but they've really, with the M systems, Apple have really done a great job, and everyone seemed to have optimized their software for ARM. Things to be working well. I mean, on this M1 Max system, on Chrome, I have over 100 tabs just live on the screen, and I don't have any issues. I've got 64 gigs and I still can do my programming, I can do gaming, I can do anything on the system, Final Cut, everything on top of it. The torch test on my M1 Max, and it doesn't chug down. It still works well. And I don't just have one instance of Chrome. I've got like 4 instances of Chrome. I've got Firefox. I've got everything running at the same time, hundreds of tabs, and it runs no issues whatsoever. So I'm not even gonna bother seeing if Chrome runs faster on the M4 Max, because I don't care. It's fast enough. All right, hope you guys found this quick dive into the performance improvements of the M4 Max useful. I think it is definitely a great system. The M1 Max is a great system, so this is a greater system. The performance of the CPU is very, very good. It's not like with the old Intel updates where nothing really much changed because everything was thermally throttled. With these M4 Maxes, yeah, it's definitely a useful bump, especially if you're doing some intensive stuff like AI and Unreal programming. Maybe M1's good enough as it is generically, but if you're doing some heavy pushing of the systems, these M4 Maxes are definitely a nice bump to get. So let me know if you are going to be updating to the M4s, or are you going to be getting M3 on discount. M3 is probably good enough as well. It's probably super duper fast as well. Or are you going to be waiting for the M5s, or are you going to be ditching these Macs and going into Windows? What are you going to be doing with your lives? Hope you guys found this video useful and enjoyed the show.